Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
Hello?
There it is.
How, does it sound okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, then I should maybe keep it Thursday no matter what for consistency. Okay, that's a stupid question.
That's not necessary.
Is it a stupid thing I said?
It wasn't stupid. It was just...
Okay, because I felt dumb.
All right, it was stupid.
Josh, we've gone over this 50,000 times. You're not supposed to say I'm stupid. You're supposed to dissuade me.
Oh.
What are you, an idiot? Okay. You sent me so many cute... I'm looking at him right here, my cute little... Now, is this a bad sign that you got sweaters on the dog?
The dog came with sweaters.
Okay, what does that mean? Now, what does that mean? Explain it to me.
I don't understand.
You can't take the sweater off of the dog?
Well, no, we put it on him.
But why? He's a dog. Doesn't he have his own skin?
He's a 10-pound dog, Andy. He could use a little help.
They get cold?
They get cold, yes.
Because they're... Okay, let me see if I can understand this with my science background.
Yeah.
So, what do we radiate heat? And then if we're tiny, we don't radiate enough heat? Or the cold gets in? Which one?
I'll take your answer off the air.
You don't really know because you're not a dog, but you do know I'm so tired of playing the dumb guy. I'm like a Rhodes Scholar. I'm a Rhodes Scholar.
Yeah.
I was a forward for the Knicks.
Uh-huh.
They called me Dollar Bill Bradley.
Uh-huh.
And how could I end up a moron after going to England and getting my thing at the I can't even remember the name of the school you go over there.
Oxford.
Sure. After working at Oxford, for many years. Is there an Oxford comma or is there an Oxford quote?
There's an Oxford comma.
Yeah, I worked for them for about 4 years.
In the listing department?
They switched me to semicolon, which was not as much fun. First of all, it was disgusting sounding. All right, I'm done with this bit. So, does that mean the other dogs never wore sweaters, or they did when they were small? Or if they had been smaller, they would wear sweaters?
Well, yeah. I mean, I have literally forbidden the use of dog clothing on our.
But you have it right here.
On our previous dogs. I said
it's unbelievable.
It's a little hoodie. It's a dog hoodie.
Yeah, but is she going to dress the dog up and stuff? Because I've heard she does stuff like that.
You heard who? Allison does that?
Allison dresses her dogs up like in...
Well, the floodgates are open now.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm not going to get in the jerky boys with this kind of delivery.
Not so much.
You know, I don't... you be the owner of a bank, okay?
All right.
No, you be the owner of a 7-Eleven, okay?
The owner of a 7-Eleven. I'm going to have to...
No, not owner, but you're answering the phone at the 7-Eleven.
Okay.
Ready?
Okay, but you're tempting me.
You're not going to do that voice, are you?
Well, which voice? I mean, you know.
What, the 7-Eleven from The Simpsons?
No, I'm not going to do a poo.
Okay.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, what is that? Is that our truck?
It's literally the roach coach going to
my God.
Going to the guys building houses down the street.
Why do they call him the roach coach? I never would order from the roach coach.
Well, I mean, there's the obvious reason.
Because they have roaches?
Yes.
Are all these food trucks?
But now they play La Cucaracha, so it's hard to say which came first.
Oh, so it's kind of a lighthearted way to deal with the fact that you have rodents on your food, or it's not rodents, it's vermin more.
Well,
what are roaches? Are they dangerous?
They're insects. Yeah, they're very dirty.
And they are dirty, right?
They're so dirty.
They're not dirty though.
I think that because it's not like pornography. It's not if you know it, if you see it, they're actually dirty.
So you're saying there aren't cockroaches, not like cats, where they clean themselves with a little thing?
They might, and it's adorable what you're miming.
All right, you answer the phone.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. What am I again?
You're 7-Eleven. You're at 7-Eleven. Just say
7-Eleven. Have a good day at 7-Eleven. They make me say that.
My head. Oh my God.
Sir, you're thinking of 9/11.
My hand. Can you help me, please? My hand.
Sir.
I don't have phone.
Sir.
I don't have phone.
You don't understand. Sir, you don't understand how phones work, sir.
Please help me. I'm an unemployed comedian. This is my last hope.
Sir, how many times have you been rejected by the Jerky Boys, sir?
I'm sorry. Do you have any room? Do you have any openings at 7-Eleven? Good tag. Right? Wouldn't that be the best part of it?
At least he didn't ask for Prince Albert in a can.
Well, I still like that. It took me 10, 12 years to figure out what it was.
It took, as a kid, how do you know obscure 1930s tobacco brands? It's hard to...
Well, plus I also thought it was named after an actual prince, which I'm sure it was not.
Well, you needed both things to be true. There was a Prince Albert.
There was?
Yes.
That's like saying there was the Knights of the Round. I thought there were the Knights of the Round Table, but they were over exaggerated what they did. Turns out they're not.
No, it's all fiction.
So who's the head guy? They used to go, remember they used to say he would go, and the
King
merry
Arthur?
men.
King Arthur.
So there was no King Arthur.
No, there was not.
This is terrible. It's just how did they expect me to deal with that?
Well, I mean, and even at the time they were thinking there wasn't even an England, really.
God, it's like, first of all, I would have bombed during the medieval era, right? Wouldn't I have bombed? I would have done well.
See, that I think you're good across all eras in that regard.
You think so?
Yes.
Hey, it's great to be back in the medieval era. I'm a little surprised there aren't any medieval times. This guy talking Middle English knows what I'm thinking about. Charsharshi.
Thank you. Enjoy the giant turkey legs.
How do you speak Middle English? Oh, bleedly, bleed. Oh, bleedly, bleedly, blow.
I don't speak it. I do not speak Middle English.
How did you study Chaucer, though? I'm a literature major. I studied Chaucer.
I studied it haltingly.
I studied it ostensibly.
I have my father's copy of Canterbury Tales, which was a upgraded English version.
And that was also by Chaucer?
Name something else by Chaucer.
He did Chaucer's Inferno was his first thing.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Sure.
Then the thing I loved, first of all, his first name was Jeff, right? Isn't it Geoffrey Chaucer?
To his friends.
Then he would do these things where he would...
Did he write Canterbury Tales 2? Did he write that
He wrote Canterbury Tales 2. Do you know that he was not involved with any of the spin-offs of Canterbury Tales?
I know, it's sad. Canterbury Tales in the City, he didn't do.
You know what song I hated when I was a kid, and I still hate it now, and it makes me want to be a vegetarian?
Oh, do tell.
3 Blind Mice.
Really?
Yes. Why would you teach a kid that? I was 7 years old, and they all went to the thing with a farming, and they had with a harvest, and they ran. So they cut off their heads with the... She cut off their heads with a carving knife.
Tails.
She cut off their tails with a carving knife. Have you ever seen such a sight?
No, I haven't seen such a sight in my life. It's horrific. Of course I haven't seen such a sight in my life.
No, it's like, first of all, sing the song with more enthusiasm. 3 Blind Mice. Now, that's supposed to be a takeoff from that didn't make me like the Three Stooges anymore. That made me be even more concerned going in. Are they going to kill mice? Maybe they didn't sing the song.
No, it was a score. It was part of the score. The 3 public domain mice. 3 public domain mice.
Someone's working in public domain in the kitchen. Dinah, call her name. I'm sorry, I lost. You have to beat a key, right? Is that what the thing is?
Well, a key and a tune. A key and a tune.
Oh, key and a tune.
We'll get you a long way
So
with a lot of songs.
Just go, oh, it's not to go. Da ba da ba da ba da ba da ba da. I listened to Blood in the Tracks again. I'm not going to go crazy about it, but oh my God, it really is my favorite album. I mean, I can't say it's my favorite album, but those albums around that time period were Blood in the Tracks, I would say was my favorite album because it was 1975. I went to school and it was a revelation to me. It was like the greatest thing I'd ever heard. Josh?
What?
Yeah. But not only that, a couple of years before that, 5 years before that, is New Morning, which is also an amazing album.
I don't know that album, I don't think.
Okay.
I really don't know any of the albums that well.
It's about him after the motorcycle accident, right? But he's like talking about. You never heard the song "New Morning"?
Give me two more wheels. 2 more wheels would be good.
All right, I'm
Two's not enough for me anymore. I
don't know this song. What's this song?
It's the Post motorcycle song.
What happened to you in the motorcycle? I went crashes.
Give me 2 more wheels. 4's good for me now.
He almost died.
I know.
Right?
Sure. That's what I hear.
It's still shrouded in mystery.
Well, I like that about him. He wasn't a drama queen.
Right, but I've never even read.
Even though he totally is.
He is, yes. I also watched the Rolling Thunder.
I'm changing religions. And I'm changing again.
I don't have any problem with any of those things. I admire everything he did in retrospect because I think the idea that he said, like, if Bob Dylan had been like, I guess I am the folk song guy, I'll go with that. Over. It would have been over, right?
Yeah.
And anybody, 99% of the people in his position would go, I'm not, why would I go electric? I'm the fucking, I'm going to be the next Pete Seeger.
I don't think that's true.
What?
Because folk music was gone within 2 years.
No, but he withdrew out of it. Oh, I think you're right. But he withdrew out of it even like when they would ask him questions. He didn't want to answer politically.
Well, but I think, I think I think he was more compelled by rock and roll once it started becoming compelling.
It was very boring, the other kind of music after a while.
Yeah, I mean,
little boxes on the hillside.
All the artistic energy was drifting towards rock.
Right. It's exactly right. I don't know why you had to stop me. I was really on the road. I mean, that might have been the best story I would forget 2 seconds in. Seriously. It'd be the best story that I would ask for information about in a minute. Okay, here. I gotta tell you, that would be annoying. But that was actually, while that was going on, it pleased me. Even though I knew it wasn't going to be on the show, it pleased me.
Yeah, it'll be on the show, but, it'll just be part of my defense.
Okay, we're not saying anything different. I love Bob Dylan. I'm just saying, like, Bob Dylan went into the born again phase. He didn't go into it and go, I know where I'm going to get my money from. I'm going to be the born again guy. He got it from passion. He got it because he was into it. And Maria Moldauer told him about it. So I feel like
I'm a seeker.
Yeah, and even when you see him talking, which you read me something that was like, and he goes from one thing to insanity very quickly.
Yeah.
But I saw the Rolling Thunder review. Did you see it?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where me and Bob Dylan came from.
Do you know I've never seen it before? And I'm a Dylan fanatic. It is absolutely an unbelievably great film. And at one point he says,
here's something I can posit. Maybe you have seen it before.
What is this? You're trying to get. Here's what I feel like you're doing.
Yeah.
You're trying to get into the sanctuary that is Bob Dylan. You're trying to get in there, and you're trying to dissuade me from his greatness.
Are you saying I'm desecrating the temple that is Bob Dylan?
Kind of. In a way, I think you are, because you're mocking it.
Yeah,
and
you're mocking
the thing
it. Oh, you're mocking it. Ooh.
I wish I could do a click sound. Oh, I can. Click. Was that a dog?
Yeah.
All right. I did tell you.
There's another one.
Stop it.
There's a third.
It's ridiculous.
Tell me about it.
I did tell you once that my parents were sitting at the same restaurant as Bob Dylan and the group, or maybe you don't remember that.
Yeah, you did tell me that.
Yeah. So this all came back together. I watched the Rolling Thunder review. What is an amazing version of a song is A Simple Twist of Fate is great on that. The whole thing is great. You see Joni Mitchell, but at one point Bob Dylan goes, he's trying to remember something. He goes, how the hell am I supposed to remember? It's 40 goddamn, something like that. It was like 40 years ago. What the hell?
Exactly. That's where me and Bob Dylan came from.
Is that from that line it came from?
It's from that part of the movie, yeah.
But that's only a slight part of the movie.
It was just a show 40 years ago.
Well, don't be. If you like Dylan, it really is. I think, along with the Pennebaker thing, it might be the best thing I've seen about Dylan, because you see him talking, and you see him getting mad at the guy at the doc. It's a documentary guy is so horrible. He's so great to watch. How much he hated making that movie.
Yeah.
And he was like. So they asked him, "Well, what'd you think about Dylan?" He was fine. This was the subject of the documentary he's making.
Yeah.
And then Dylan doesn't want to talk to him. So Dylan comes off the stage and I goes, Bob, how did that feel? He goes, are you still here? I can't do Bob anymore because you do it better. Are you still here?
That's really terrible.
Look. Here's the thing. What? You don't have to be mean anymore. I really want you to get... No, I actually like mean Bob Dylan because you know why? I have such a great sense of humor about myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm a comedian. You can't tell me anything that would get me upset. Except that you're probably going to never get work again. And also, you're going to die early. You won't do any gig because of the pandemic. And it's going to be horrible at the end. Okay, look. Here's the thing I want to talk to you about. First of all, I need to find out from you, how is the dog? Is there anything about the dog? Is the dog completely comfortable? Like, no longer has a memory?
No, the dog is not
being freaked out.
No, I mean, the dog is like this morning, Allison went to school. He's been kind of an asshole all morning. So I think he misses Allison now. But
how is a dog being an asshole? Give me some examples.
No, just barking, whining, howling, acting like there's something you can do for them, and then there's nothing you can do for them.
See, here's the thing that's great with you. To me, I would be a dog owner. I'm not saying I'm not going to be a dog owner, but I'd be a dog owner. What's wrong, Cookie? You treat them like they're people. This guy's being an asshole. Children. Children.
I don't treat him. I don't say you're an asshole. I go, what's wrong, Cookie?
Right. But inside,
and then he runs away, and then I go, all right, you're an asshole.
Okay, but that's the way. That's like a good parent might talk about their kids. I'm not talking about my mother.
Right, over coffee. My mother, over coffee when the kids aren't there. Yeah.
Oh my God! If he gets into the, here's the thing. When I watch things, or documentaries about families, and they're looking at the little one, and they're going. In other words, something serious is happening, right? But they're laughing that the little one thinks it's so serious.
Yeah.
I never got that. That my parents were not laughing at how delightful we were.
Yeah.
In other words, they never separated like that. Maybe they said I was cute, but in practice, they weren't like that because they didn't think about being parents that way. They didn't think they thought about being parents like, what is all the noise about? Shut the fuck up. You're late for school, and that kind of thing.
They were sentenced to parenting, kind of.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
they were. But your mom and dad were younger, so maybe they were a bit different generation.
I mean, how much older are you? You're the youngest?
My mom was born in 29. My dad was born in 26.
Right, but how old were they when they had you? Don't make me do the math.
My dad was
26.
30.
They were 30, so that's the same age, as my parents.
My dad, I was the youngest though.
I was too.
Don't forget that.
Please
don't forget that. It doesn't matter. I'm talking about me now. It's like, and we'll be back with a narcissistic minute. I was the youngest. I was too. Do you ever see that commercial on TV, Dad? It's the best one where he goes, the guy's talking to his own son, and he's saying, talk to him like you're a father. He goes, I am his father. It's not a contest. I love TV, Dad.
You love commercials.
You know what? TV I don't like so much.
Yeah.
TV to me is boring.
Sure.
Staid, if that's a word. Staid.
Yes. Predictable.
Predictable. I like, because I don't know what's going to, first of all, I like commercials because.
And so long form too.
Yes. Yeah. And right. I like the short form. I also like when the commercial comes on, I can't get enough. Some people might disagree. I can't get enough with people talking to me like I'm a stupid old man about Medicare Part 12. I love to be talked down to, and then to also realize there are people who need to be talked down to.
They really are.
And that's sad to me too. I don't think that's sad, but just the whole idea of like, I don't dislike the guy who's the voice of Colombian because of no, it's not Colombian. It's Columbia Record Club. It's the what is that insurance? Columbia Insurance. Trebek used to sell it. So, but I don't buy. I mean, do they have to have the guy walk around and he goes, "Are you Schmecky from the $9.99 commercial?"
All right.
Yes, I am.
Colonial Life.
You can't build Colonial Life. You can't build. It's like if you had Tom Selleck coming down the street, and right before he gets into the mortgages, they go, "Hey, are you Tom Selleck?" Well, yes, I am. Or is that going to have to be that way in 10 years?
I don't know. I think that you believe that they're breaking some kind of law of the coronavirus, and I think that they've set up the coronavirus very well with years.
What are you saying? What are you saying, that you'd like the? You're saying that the commercial is good?
It's the greatest, Andy. It's the greatest. You're just you saying you can't do that. That's what I'm talking about. I think they did it.
Do what? What can I do?
See, I can't talk to you when you don't remember what you said.
Do you mean to be a pitchman for the commercials?
No, never mind.
Okay. No, you never mind. No, you fucking never.
Don't make me respond to what you said and then tell you what you said.
Can we add bongos for me? I lean back.
He's banging on his stomach like a baboon, by the way.
Oh, buddy. Aren't I great? Isn't it great with me?
It's a treat twice a week.
You got to laugh. You got to laugh. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
And back to one.
And back to the ridiculous guy. I wanted to tell you that have I already talked about Unscripted? Unscripted, it's a book, but I listened to the audiobook version about Sumner Redstone.
Yes,
and the whole
you have
thing.
a couple times.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh my God. What an amazing book.
Yeah.
I'm done with it. And, Sumner Redstone, did I say this too? Sumner Redstone comes out better than Les Moonves.
Really?
And they're both horrible.
Well, I've always said the less Moonves, the better. So.
What? Actually, I don't want to say someone beat you to that, but they used to have on Letterman more with less. Was the sec, which
well, during the WGA strike of 2007, I started that chant outside CBS.
You did?
I did.
Were you on? Did you make it to the news?
No, I did not.
I didn't make it to the picket line. But you know what, folks? I realized I was there for a week, and I realized I'm not a writer. Boop. I think it's over. I'll call you. I'll speak to you later. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for everything. We'll give it a shot later.
We almost made it to 300. We almost made it, but I can see why.
But maybe it's time.
I can see why it's over. I can see it. I think.
Why don't you wrap up the friendship and the podcast and slam down the fucking reset? Don't do that, because you would do that.
I would hurt.
Don't do it so early.
I would hurt my computer.
Yeah. I did an interesting thing that I don't think I told you anything about. I was interviewed.
That's probably true. If it was interesting.
Well, are you saying I purposely bring you boring things?
I don't know if it's on purpose.
These jokes are much better than it takes me a couple seconds to get them, because by the time I get them, they're less painful. You know what I mean?
Tragedy plus time. You know what they say.
I'm surprised you can make sounds with your mouth. You're so fucking stupid. It's like, oh. So
I get it.
I was interviewed for a Showtime special, which is basically about the whole Louis C.K. thing.
Oh, good.
So it was pretty amazing. And
did you go off the hook?
Why they interviewed me for 2.5 hours.
Wow! So they're trying to bait you into going off the hook. No,
it was really interesting. It's really nice. Caroline Sue is the director who directed she was the director on that Salt. What's that thing? Salt, acid. The three things that make food.
Salt, fat, acid, heat.
That's it. So she was very nice, and she was very nice. But basically, had I not listened to the unscripted thing, I would have been even less. The unscripted thing brought it all together for me, because in the unscripted thing, Les Moonves does some Louis C.K. type behavior.
Yeah.
So
we
were talking.
Edgy stand up that sheds a light on our inner demons.
Les Moonves.
Or the penis thing.
The penis thing. But here's the thing. The reason why it is so terrible what happened was it really is like people feeling they were, like with Les Moonves, they work for him, or they're being pressured by this guy. And it's like, why can't I explain what I'm trying to say? It really is a power situation where it's like, here's the thing. What I'm trying to say is Louis C.K. and maybe we talked about this before, but he's exposing himself. It's not just I'm a wacky guy. It's an absolutely aggressive move to either take control of the person if they do allow him to show their penis. They're already working for him. They're comedians who are working for him. They're not men. They're female comedians who are working for them. So he exposes himself, and if they say they're not into it, then he's fine. But if they were into it, say, what would be this is what Les Moonves did. He would go.
Well, and I don't think that was. I mean, that was fully the case with Louis C.K. I don't think he actually waited for the permission, quote unquote.
No. I'm not saying he did. Yeah. I'm not saying he did. But what I think is odd is that Les Moonves attacked this woman, right? And then he ran into the corner. She said, "Stop it." He just walked over to the corner and masturbated and left. That's one of the stories.
Yeah.
I'm saying I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't know exactly what's going on here, but it is it's criminal. I'm not saying Louis C.K. should go to prison. I do think Les Moonves did do horrible things. I don't know. That's not my point. My point is it's horrible things, but that they're all on a continuum. Doesn't mean that Louis C.K. would end up hitting women or attacking them. But what he's doing is pretty fucking bad. He's pressuring them with a psychological game.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So the whole point of the documentary is how come he hasn't paid any price for it, and that was what the whole interesting thing was how he got away with it. And first of all, he didn't really apologize is one of the main things. If you go back to his thing. He's so smart, Josh, because he's such a bright. He knows he's done something wrong, but he doesn't think it was. He knows that he's done something that was perceived as wrong, but he doesn't think it's wrong. Because if you look at that apology letter, he says in the apology letter, I did it. He says basically came to light, right? It came to light through the article in the New York Times. And then a week later, he says, I did it. Or when the Times article came out, he says, I did it. It's all true. And then part of the apology is, I can't imagine how these women feel. I really feel just where you go, this guy cares. Right? This guy. But that's not what it was about. Because
I never felt that from anything I saw coming from him.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. Right. So basically what are you going to do on the day that you're caught? But you see, when he first gave that bullshit story, there were some people who said, at least he admits it. But because he does say, I can't imagine how horrible they feel and how their lives have been affected. Right? Well, then you follow that up with therapy. You follow that up with you talk to your victims on camera. You follow that up with something to do to rectify the situation or rectify your own situation.
Right.
And so he hasn't done it. So he deserves no forgiveness, and he deserves to be slammed forever, and he deserves to be called out for it.
Well, and I think he made a very conscious decision that I still have enough audience left that I don't have to.
Right. None of it was about, did I do something wrong?
No, I think it,
Never.
No, I think it was, after assessing the damage, he went, there's enough here to make it so I don't have to feel shame. Right. And so.
And the thing is, I'm not a woman, but I could do things like I was saying to myself, I was nice to Louis C.K. I mean, I hated him, but I was first friends with him. And then when he didn't stand up for me, when the big thing happened at Caroline's, when they overbooked the show and they kept cutting my time every night and he would not come to my defense. I realized then, at the time I thought, oh, it's you again, Andy. You want too much from people, which is also true. I could be needy, but no, this was him absolutely saying, look, buddy, she's my friend. And I'm friends with this person who's the booker,
right,
who's taking your time away, who he knew. It was no way to say it was the right thing to give me 4 minutes. I'm inviting family down to the show. Give me 5 minutes. And so that really changed me. But if that had been the only example, then I would have probably gotten over it. But that's not the only example. It's his whole career. I kind of explained through the interview how his whole career was doing these things like one night when I was down, I don't know if I told you this, when I was down in Lower New York, wherever we were with Susan, I saw Louis C.K. I don't know if he seemed inebriated to me, but he was basically saying that I'm on Conan. Conan knows I'm fucking funnier than him. He knows it. He knows he can't stand how funny I am. And he was really kind of just basically coming out with all the things that some people, I don't actually have that in mind. I don't actually go to that other guy's not funny.
Yeah.
That's not how I mean, I do that as an act,
right.
But that's not how I think when I'm with people. But he was like, what was I saying?
He was drunk and bitching about it.
Yeah, so he was basically right. So, yeah, he's like, so then a few years later, you see him on Letterman. So here's the story about him in Letterman. I don't know if it's true. I'm not claiming it's true. The story with him in Letterman was that Louis C.K. was writing for Letterman, and he was starting to think like he wasn't being appreciated there. They won't put my stuff on the air. It's bullshit. So he quit the show. He quit or whatever. The story is that they told him to go and tell Dave why he's leaving. And to fight, not to fight for his stuff, but to go and tell. You have a meeting with Dave, which he went in and he told Dave, he ended up looking like an idiot, is what the story is, because there was a prank. So that's how liked he was around there, right? So in Louis, he's yelling at Letterman, "Fuck you, Letterman! Fuck you! You suck!" And so what I'm saying is, this is not fiction. This is him playing out all of his life in the fantasy of this show. So that's why there's all the sexual stuff, except in the show, the sexual stuff is done to him. He's the kind of guy going, oh.
Well, no,
oh.
I mean, yes, there's some of that, but I mean, my theory has always been it's like Murdoch on the stand. It's like I will tell the truth about every fucking horrible thing I've ever done except for this one I'm being accused of right now. How could I be lying about this thing I'm accused of when I've been so frank about all my other horrors, So he was the same way, where it's like masturbating in front of women while a horror only seemed about 5% off key from what we already expected from the guy.
Right.
That he was deviant and sexually immature, essentially, and damaged, broken, So he let us know, up to that point that he's a fucked up, broken dude.
Yeah.
So that his actual behavior wouldn't seem so aberrant.
Right. And then, but the thing is, like, Louis C.K. is trying to sell himself as the truth machine. I was really interesting, and I'm just telling you this because I want to remember it, but it's like, he's like he like is the like pretending that he's willing to say anything about anything, right? In other words, like,
right.
I'm not afraid to put myself down. I'm not afraid to say anything. But that's not what happens when you say, oh, my wife claims to be an artist. He's married. I think he was married to his wife then. Or maybe not. But he's like, oh, my wife claims to be an artist. You know what? Why don't you paint me some money? That would be a good thing. People are laughing because they don't think he really means that.
Right.
They think he's a great guy who is just capable of all of these edgy thoughts.
Right. But isn't that, I mean, I have to say, not to defend Louis C.K., but I think that's true of a lot of fucking comics.
Yeah, but this is criminal. We're getting into a criminal.
Well, not his jokes aren't criminal. They're just,
right.
His behavior was criminal.
But if you think about it, because I was exploring his jokes too, he was not a very funny comic when he was doing he was just respected, but it wasn't that great when he would do his whole, I went down the street, I was carrying a peach, and I thought to myself, I am carrying a peach. He was very clean. He was not dirty at all. What I'm telling you is he is probably the most ambitious motherfucker in the history of the world.
Absolutely.
And everything was about, and I don't know if I told you this, I'm not going to tell the person's name because they didn't allow me to tell their name, but a mutual friend of mine, he took over to he invited them over for dinner during this whole thing before he was exposed, when I was just going after him in 2012. And he spent the whole evening telling this other comedian how fucked up I am. He's not with me telling me. So I think I'm not saying he sees me as the truth machine, but he sees me as a threat.
Right.
And that's why he came down to Toronto after I'd done. See, I don't know if you remember, because I would never came out on tape. And why would you remember? In 2012, and I can't even find the tape. I ended my speech. We didn't tape it back then. That's what happened. We didn't tape it back then. At the end of my speech, I went to a whole long thing about Louis C.K. is the greatest comedian. Like doing a robotically mimicking the press. He is the greatest. And then at the end, I go, I had a bad experience with him at Caroline's many, many years ago, and I couldn't get it out of my mind. So later on, I turned it into material on stage. So it was like admitting my part, because this was before anything happened. I mean, before I just hated him then.
Right.
But there was everyone in the world said he was the greatest comedian in the world. Not everyone, but I mean, that was the pitch at the time.
Yeah.
So, what was I saying?
How great you were and smart you were, I think.
Oh, fuck you. So, I can't button it up.
No, but you're talking about him being against you, basically.
I actually used your example. I did not use you. I said that he would go up to comics after their sets and tell them what they did wrong and tell them what they did right, and the comics might like it because they respected him.
Right.
Right? He's the Wizard of Oz, Josh. He doesn't care about you and your fucking act.
No, he doesn't. He's a massive narcissist.
But then you didn't think that. Then you kind of because I was saying that they was kind of surprised by this. I said, I was really friendly with him when I first, because I met him through Sarah Silverman. I thought he was the funniest guy in the world. I said he has so much personal charisma.
Well, no, I mean, I felt both at the time. I felt that it was incredibly presumptuous of him, and he happened to be right about some of it. You know?
Right. That's interesting, because I think your mind is able to log both things easier than me. You know what I mean? Like, my mind's like, he's a bad guy. But your mind's like, that's kind of creepy, but he's right. Or something like that.
Right.
But if you were to enter into his cult, you would be unhappy the second day when he tried to change you.
Yeah, no, I've never been a part of his cult. But, I will say that I was probably more for him than against him.
And I was, even in this interview, I admit he's fun, that he made me laugh at times.
My biggest criticism was of his non-stand-up stuff, But
how about Louis? Did you love Louis?
I know, but again, what I envied was his deal,
Yes.
I envied that
nobody could tell him anything.
Well, yeah, and that he just got to make his own fucking show, and I admire, trading money for the ability to do that. I admire someone trying to find a way that they can work the way they want to work, but I don't admire him personally, obviously,
Right. Yes. It's not an easy thing, because I would watch Louis every week too. I was interested in watching it, and sometimes I would enjoy parts of it.
And I also find it a big scar that he's in my fucking movie, that I couldn't take him out in time.
There's no way that, I think that's, I don't know what to say about that, because, I don't think there's any way people can't go, they have to know when the movie was made.
Yeah, I mean,
people have to know that.
Well, and I've other than that one fucking asshole reporter in Minnesota who fucked me over.
What did he say?
No one in the world ever mentioned it.
Oh God!
Ever.
Is this a friend, like a hometown writer that you knew?
Well, he's someone I had dealt with. He's not someone who I had like a long relationship with, but he's fucked me over like 3 times now. So in various ways.
Is it a writer I know about in Minneapolis?
He's the Star Tribune sort of entertainment writer guy.
I think he
was like
strange.
He was like, and he was tied into Louis Lee. And so, when all this was happening, he was like, let me do an interview with you so we can talk about the Louis C.K. factor. And get past it. And then, so I did this fucking interview with him, which I didn't even really want to do, but I did it for Louis. And,
right.
Basically said, yeah, there was no way to take it out, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then he writes a review of the movie about how he couldn't get past the Louis C.K.
First of all, I know this guy. He came down and wrote about my show once, and he's really weird, I think. If I'm remembering the right guy.
Another slimy thing, too, where he did this he wrote this very third-person thing about Chris and I walking out people because we were being offensive when it just wasn't the case.
Oh, my God. Oh. He wants to be part of the action.
Yeah.
So he seems very to have a high opinion of himself is the other thing that I could tell when he came down to the club. Because I talked to him after the show. He seemed to be big, fishy, small, pondy.
A little bit.
A little bit. Oh God, that was. I felt like I just I just had therapy going through all of these things. But the thing that's amazing is when you get if you read unscripted or whatever, just to know how much the whole Sumner Redstone thing was just based on his weird sexuality and having to dominate people and having to paw at people.
Yeah.
And then Moonves is a monster. Moonves is like a literal monster.
Yeah.
Because everyone was scared of him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Everyone Raymond was scared of him.
That's what makes a monster. So yeah, no, it's completely jaw dropping that there are people who operate that way, and who are so trapped in being a damaged 12-year-old inside, you know. And
of course, what happens is that you get all this money, and you get all that's the thing. You absolutely don't believe. You absolutely start to believe that you are entitled because you have power,
right?
To eliminate the. It's like I did a bad thing, but should I apologize or should I fire him and his whole division?
Right.
And then Sumner called his daughter the C word during negotiations.
Nice.
She stayed with him till the end, though, kind of, but not his other son. His other son got out.
Yeah.
Well, his other son had to get out because his father said terrible things about him. He just was not as much of a. The name was Rothstein before.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. My name was Bernie Schwartz before I changed it too. Not so good? Anything fun coming up? Do you have a... I'm not going to see you, I think, for the rest of my life, I just realized.
Really? I mean, really?
No, but I want to see... I don't know how we're going to do with the doggies. I mean, the relationship is like... That was my life, was coming over and...
Well, you're still welcome.
I know, but I don't want to go into houses. It sounds...
Well, we don't have COVID here.
I don't know.
And you don't have COVID, so it's basically safe.
You don't know. You think you don't have COVID.
It's true. It's true.
Allison's out in the world. You're not as out in the world as Allison is.
Right.
I actually like doing the show this way. I'm very comfortable doing the show this way.
I like it way better than having you into my home.
What? That came off a little bit...
I'm sorry. Does
judgy.
Does that sound like I hate having you here? I'm sorry.
First of all, I think it was a natural... First of all, I went by your house the other day. I almost couldn't resist looking. Yeah, the lights all on in the upper thing. All the lights are on the second floor. I was like... And I expect... Why aren't you looming by the window ever? Looming by the window overlooking your kingdom.
Because I don't want to be that guy.
That's not really far from a morning zoo kind of thing. I don't want to be that guy. I saw you the other weekend. You were that. You would be that guy. I don't want to be that guy anymore.
Mr. Limit of the Windows back.
It's what was my thing? DJ in the sunroom. DJ in the sunroom, 75 degrees because of the increased sun.
That's solarium temperatures.
Oh, solar. I know you love Spectrum, and I think they do a great job.
Sure.
But they are trying to kill me with the commercials, not just how bad they are, but how many they put back to back.
Ow, it's not TV, not TV. It's those commercials that get me. It's not TV, not TV. It's those commercials that get me.
They're going to make me hate their company. I hate them. I hate everything about them.
Imagine hating your cable company.
I still have this dream that being nice should pay off in business.
Yeah.
Being good to your customers. That's what I would do.
Yeah. Sure.
I wouldn't be a rip-off man and yell at my people.
I've had pretty good dealings when I've had to actually talk to a person.
At Spectrum?
Yes.
Did you hear that?
I did. You should investigate.
I don't know. It sounds like someone's at the door. Here's me when I hear that.
Get to the corner.
No, okay. Here's me looking at a phone call. Did that play?
We're not on rate, not audio wise, but I have a camera.
I feel like a. I don't know. I can't get out of this feeling like I'm obnoxious. I know I'm obnoxious, but it reminds me of being a kid. I can't get out of it sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I know that I'm doing something that's obnoxious, but
sure.
Don't hang up on me. That would be a hacky thing to do.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Don't do it.
I won't do it. I'll make you keep thinking of shit to say.
All right. So the thing is, I was thinking about this over the weekend. How come I can't have some of the same skills of a lizard? I don't look like a lizard, but I have. I can slither.
Don't sell yourself short.
What does that mean? I am a lizard, or I'm very lizardy?
You said you don't look like a lizard. I'm just saying. You know.
Have you ever seen a chameleon? I used to see them at summer camp all the time.
I'd see them, and then they disappeared.
Does anyone know how they do it? Because if they do know how they do it, David Copperfield should do it. Or whoever does that kind of thing. Sure.
That would be great if he turned, like, if he stood in front of, like a dark skin thing he could turn into. That'd be a great trick, wouldn't it?
Well, how do they do it? Do you know how they do it? You can tell me you do. It's by biology or something like that. It works by biology.
Yes. If that's an acceptable answer, then yes. It's by biology.
Okay, so it's evolutionary. It's evolutionary. The chameleon went... Why would the chameleon change colors? I mean, was there a national chameleon convention where they said, what are we going to do next, fellas?
Wow. Okay, now we're going to hang up, right? loves me. Love me, love me, love me, love me. Loves me like a rock. Love me, love me, love me, love me. Loves me like a rock. Love me, 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 love me like a rock. Loves me like a rock. Na 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 na. Loves me like a rock. Loves me like a rock. Angels. Loves me like a rock. Yeah, my mama loves me. Loves me like a rock. She loves me like a rock. Loves me like a rock. A few more times. Loves me like a rock. Come on. Loves me like a rock. One really good one. Loves me like a rock. Thank you very much.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. I was thinking about our exchange yesterday because it was like one of these things where I was over by Hank's. I did get some bagels from Hank's Bagels.
Oh, I figured you were at Hank's Bagels when you called me. When you butt dialed me with FaceTime, which is ass time if you butt dial me on FaceTime.
It's ass time. Did you come up with that? Because I'm using it.
I just did right now.
Kidding.
Yeah.
Very good. It's ass time. I tear out the middle of the bagel, so
because there's a hole there.
So I don't know if you know that one of the worst things that ever happened to me in my life. At the time, it sounds ridiculous, but I was supposed to go to the United Nations. Do you know this story? Like third grade, and so
pretend I don't.
Okay, so I was. Okay, I didn't remember that Saturday. I had told a school friend, my best friend at the time, that I was going not my best William Alexander. We were best friends at the time. I mean, I love him, but I forgot.
But I kid him.
I kid William. I had told him I had forgotten by the weekend that he was going to go. That I agreed to go to the United Nations on the Saturday morning. Yeah. Right. So, do you know who didn't remind me, or you know who probably didn't even know, or you know who probably who wouldn't have known or cared or helped me get ready for my Saturday trip? I'm in the third grade. I'm in the fourth grade, something like that.
All right. I'm guessing your parents didn't give a shit, but
my dad would never. I mean, that wouldn't be his purview if you use that word. My mother couldn't help. She could have. She was severely depressed, and she couldn't be a mother, but she could have. That I missed that part. All right.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, my mom comes in the room and she goes, "William Alexander and his family are out at the curb. They're ready to go to the United Nations." That's what I'm greeted with.
Right.
As a small child. What? William Alexander is out there. I run down to what is called the vestibule, which I've never used that word in any other context, but for the little place where you take your shoes off to get into a house on the East Coast.
We call it a mudroom in the Midwest.
Yeah, I like. But vestibule sounds like it's hurt. So I see. To this day, I can see it. I can see it plainly. Car. My friend William Alexander in a suit of some type.
Right.
People looking
United
from
Nations
the car.
Appropriate attire.
Looking at me. I don't remember an adult, but
right.
Looking at me. No, they're not looking at me like that. I'm looking like this.
Right.
Okay.
And you had forgotten to tell anybody this was happening, is what I sense.
There's two things about this. Why would normally a kid would... I mean, I think I told you the time that I had to pee off of a open back of a. Oh, what's it called when they put kids in a truck and it's an open bed or whatever? It's like
a hayride.
It's crazy.
A hayride, like.
Well, no, it's like just going from one camp to the other, but we're in the back of a huge pickup truck.
I think we call that a white slavery operation.
Okay, so
human trafficking is what that's called.
I've learned through therapy that nobody ever told me, never said. We're going to the other camp to play we're playing a baseball game. Don't forget to pee.
Okay.
Don't forget to pee.
I don't know how we went from the United Nations to the back of a flatbed truck. Peeing.
If I had regular parents, I wouldn't have been the only one who would have had to remember I was from the United Nations. but none of the things that a parent was supposed to take care of.
Right, but did you tell your parents, or did you just make a plan with a kid and forget?
Who knows? I think I'm not trying to hang my mom on this. She probably, maybe my mom was right. I never told her. But the point is, she doesn't help me. She doesn't go, I'll tell them you can't go.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All right. So, I'm always afraid that I've missed something. So when I butt dialed you yesterday and it was FaceTime, and I looked at the FaceTime, all I could see was you were in your usual place.
All right.
And I was in my usual place on the screen for a FaceTime.
Uh-huh.
What have I forgotten?
All right.
It's like, to me, I could not understand in my mind. To me, you were definitely at your house and it was Friday and you were wondering, where the fuck was I for the question? So it's like, you're all set up.
But you called me is the thing.
I didn't know that I called you at that point. Okay. You said, I remember you said, did you know you FaceTimed
I said, did
me?
you mean to FaceTime me?
I understand that, but you have to realize there's a lot of things going on at once.
No, I understand. There's a hayride. There's a hayride in New York. There's the United Nations. There's a whole lot going on here that I didn't know in just the time you were butt dialing me from the bagel store.
You couldn't have known. How could you have known? It wasn't your job to know.
No, I don't feel guilty about it. I'm just.
May I further state? I apologize. So then there was just that thing where for that 1 second, and I'm not a name dropper, but I had done a voiceover for Bob's Burgers yesterday.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. And in fact, you know who was waiting?
That's not actually, I don't think Bob is actually a name. I don't think.
Well, no, but you know who was that? This is my ball with the names on it.
Sure.
Andy Richter was in the waiting room.
Look at that thing ricochet around the room.
Yeah. So it was a rare day that I was out of the house.
Yeah.
And then I freaked out for a second.
Yeah.
But then I recovered myself and walked into traffic.
had a bagel. Well, I'm sorry, if it's any solace, it didn't really affect me at all. The whole thing.
But the thing is, you have to one thing that's weird is that
I just said, sorry, I got ice cream. I gotta go.
Well, you had the mic set up too, right?
No, I didn't.
You did use the ice cream joke.
Yes.
But I think I imagined you with the mic. It just looked like you were ready to go.
I was at my normal workspace because I was working when you interrupted me with your ass.
Right. So I was totally thinking you're going, I just thought what's up? What's up, buddy?
Well.
So in other words, like, it hadn't even been that I had forgotten. You had already started. You'd set up.
No, I know.
You're waiting for an hour.
You constructed a whole problem I had with you in your
head.
It was good.
Well, that's why people go to therapy, because you begin to be able to understand what's in your head,
right,
and what is in your heart.
Yeah.
I'm listening to another great book. It's called. You know the name of this book. Stop it. It's called Hollywood Ending. It's about Harvey Weinstein and the Culture of Silence by Ken Oleta, who I've enjoyed his writing before.
What is this little predator spree you're on?
Yeah, it really is, because I'm trying to either understand. I'm fascinated by the whole thing. So it is like one thing, like I like to listen to things. I get tired of podcasts, so I actually am enjoying the nuts and bolts of this true crime.
Yeah, it's nice sometimes to listen to someone who tried. Like an author.
I don't get that joke.
I mean, like an author versus a podcast.
Yeah, it's like these words were thought about, it seemed like.
Yeah.
So, like, as I'm walking, everything, it's like butter in a way. You know?
That's what I'm saying.
Chapter 2. It's not like every other thing that I listen to. All right, the podcast you liked before, you're going to listen to again. Right. Before I get to it today, let me say five more things that will make you want to kill yourself and not listen. All right. I'm sorry I'm this way. I really am.
I don't know. There was like another emotional arc. I just made a little joke. You got mad at me because you didn't understand it. Then you ran with it.
So, in this book is a very funny scene. It's it's Nathan Lane going to do in the book. It's the whole history of the Weinsteins. Right. So in the book, it's the year 2000, and Hillary Clinton is doing some big thing to launch her campaign, and then Bill Clinton, and so Nathan Lane is the comedian who's going to do some jokes. Well, Harvey decides. He goes, "These are not appropriate jokes." And Nathan Lane says, "You don't tell me what kind of jokes to do." He goes, "I'll ruin you. I'll ruin you." He says that. "I will fucking destroy your career."
I think he said that every 5 minutes.
Right. And Nathan Lane goes, "You can't destroy my career. I don't have a film career." I just thought that was so good. That was Andy Kindlerich. I mean, said by a guy who has a film career. Right. So he was kind of kidding, right?
Well, no, I mean, I think what he was meaning is at that time he was a Broadway guy and he wasn't.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. Oh, maybe that was before he did. But I thought it was so great. You can't ruin me. And then so what happened was, I'm just at this when the podcast started. He agrees. So Hillary Clinton tries to defuse, because I think the deal was that everybody just thought Harvey Weinstein. Well, first of all, Hillary was married to somebody who was capable of the same kind of rage. Although, let me be clear, I do not buy that, or do not know that Bill Clinton was a sexual predator like Harvey Weinstein. I do not know that, nor do I necessarily believe it, because the one woman who accused him of rape is that Juanita Broderick, and she's like, I don't know what she was like then, but she's the most right-wing, racist person in the world. So I'm just saying it's not exactly the same two stories.
I don't know that he was what, in his own words, a super predator, but he was certainly a sexual opportunist.
He was, but I wouldn't imagine. I mean, I always get in trouble with these kind of conversations. But him sleeping with Monica Lewinsky is in no way like sexual assault. I mean, it's using your power. But she was attracted to him. He was attracted to her. I mean, it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm going to convince this woman to be attracted to me. Doesn't mean it's right. Does not mean it's right.
No, it was an abuse of power, but I don't think.
Yeah,
but I
should not be doing it.
But I don't. I've never heard it told in a way where she felt threatened in any way or was in any way coerced.
No, he took advantage of her attraction to him, yes, right, to have an affair or whatever he was going to do. He never had sexual relations with that woman. Hillary Clinton. No, what did you say? Miss Lewinsky. So the point I'm saying is that Harvey was like an insane, was known for yelling at everybody. So Hillary tried to calm it down. So, tried to calm the situation down because she had seen Harvey be this way before. Right. And then she said to Nathan, "But this is all right. Maybe you can not do it." Because sometimes Nathan Lane does do jokes that are not. I mean, they're going to hurt people's feelings. Sometimes, I mean, he doesn't have the filter. He has the filter of someone who doesn't care.
Right. Of someone who can't be ruined by Harvey Weinstein.
Right. So, what happened was Hillary Clinton was late, or Bill Clinton was late. So Nathan agreed to drop the jokes, but then they were late. So I'm at the point where he's going, okay, since they're late, I'm going to do every one of the jokes that I was going to do beforehand that I was told I couldn't do.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm at now in the book. It's a teaser for you.
But you don't know what happened afterwards?
Well, I guess Harvey Weinstein, I think he apologized to all of his victims. I think he went through many years, like Louis C.K. did, of serious. He actually, like Louis C.K., he volunteered to go to prison for many years.
Right.
That's how terrible he felt about it.
Right, just because he felt like people should feel safe.
And he said, cancel my career?
It's the least I can do.
Own.
It's the least I can do after all the trouble I've caused, yes.
I'll cancel my own goddamn career. That's what a monster I am, Louis C.K. said.
Right.
Shortly after the event.
Right.
And that's why he's a beloved figure.
That's how he won. That's how he earned it all back.
No, I have to tell you, Harvey did not turn it around.
Oh.
He got worse.
Oh, really?
Except one thing.
I feel betrayed now.
People were saying he really wasn't. He wasn't putting it on that he could barely walk. In the trial, the guy has been a diabetic forever. And has had horrible health forever. Still,
he put a little mustard on it.
Well, why would you? If I broke my leg and I had a cast, I'm doing it. I'm playing up every single thing. If I have to use a cane for a day, please, honey. Please, I'll be okay. Let me sit for a while. Right. I play that stuff up, so I know he played it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you want me to do? These are the things that are out there in the world.
Well, I'm glad you're studying the mind of the super predator. I think you can learn lessons from when you become the head of a studio. Don't make the same mistakes, Andy. Don't make the same mistakes.
I would like to take this opportunity to say, oh no, I was going to go after you. Susan, can you not open that door? Okay, thanks. Can you hear that door?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay. Honey.
Now I hear it.
Hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back.
Why is there blood all over you?
There's not blood on me, right, Susan? There's no blood on me. Okay. Sometimes I can't talk about it. It's really... Okay, it's just ridiculous. But I could make it into something funnier.
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
Pickle says, do you find 7-Up delightfully refreshing or refreshingly delightful? Well, interesting that you should say that, Pickles. A lot of people think that your questions are more joke questions, but sometimes you really put your finger on something that's important and also important. I just want to say that I both enjoy Diet 7-Up and Diet Sprite. And I've been noticing that sometimes they don't have a lot of Diet Sprite or Diet 7-Up. So I don't know if that's a supply chain problem or what it is.
I don't know why you had to do that whole thing with your eyes closed. Like,
I'm Gilbert. I'm the new Gilbert.
I find 7-Up to be the official beverage of being homesick from school.
Well, not kind of the dry and ginger ale?
That was part of it too, but 7-Up was a big...
Well, ginger ale they used to push on us as like, oh, you're going to get ginger in there. It's good for your stomach.
Well, there's something to that. I don't know.
But there was no ginger in the ginger ale.
That may be the hitch.
Well, I think we spent enough time. On Pickle's question.
All right, then let's move on to
Jason's question, which reminds me that I have not done his show. We've scheduled a couple of things, so I have been remiss.
All right. Jason is very moist parton. Says, guys, I'm going through some stuff. Not like someone died stuff, but stuff. I could use a pick-me-up. Spike, can I get a fuck face? Jelvis, can you remind Andy that he's Spike? Thanks, guys. Also, Andy, I haven't forgot.
Who's Spike?
You're Spike.
Get it?
Yeah.
Do you get it?
I did. You made his day. It was good.
Oh, but I'm Spike.
Yeah. You didn't
look, fuckface.
Yeah.
Hey, look, fuckface. Time's just, hey, Jason, fuckface. Suck it up, fuckface. All right? You think every day is going to be a fucking picnic? You think I'm happy that I have to carry Josh? I had to throw you one. I had to carry Josh twice a week for 2 sessions. It's like I'm the war. I'm done. I had a good start on that.
You did. You had a steam, but no whistle.
Yeah. Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that was it.
All right. Well, I'll do the next question then.
Okay, excellent.
A third. I enjoyed that. A third Jew asks, do you fellows enjoy the international sports competition? Will you be watching the World Baseball Classic? Signarf Loopstock is playing for the Dutch. Kung Kwan Gillegalajaw for Taiwan. And Warwick Sapold for Australia. Are these great sports names you love?
Are there great sports names?
Oh, I thought you were I thought you were saying at the other thing. Hey, did I come up with some good stuff or what?
Well, the St. Louis team has all these weird names. There's who on first. There's what on second.
What?
Yeah.
What?
My favorite name is still Andreas Galarraga.
That was our Hugh Fink joke.
What was?
Hugh Fink had a funny joke where he would go, the third base coach would be just like everybody coming up to bat. Come on, Bobby. Come on, Bobby. Come on, Bobby. And then when they would announce. And the next one, Andres Galarraga. Come on, Bobby. Oh. Come on, Bobby. The idea was that a third base coach couldn't, didn't know.
Right. So you really felt like a need to minimize my joke by saying I was stealing it somehow?
Yes, I did. Because I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you. Not just what you are, but your fucking beard and everything it represents.
All right.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It represents self-hatred and neglect, but thanks. Thanks for being supportive. BD West?
I do want to watch those sometimes. Do you ever watch those the World Baseball thing?
Never. Yeah, okay. Never.
Take it away. Take it away with the next question, and I think it's from BD West.
Another baseball question says, BD West says, with all the new rule changes this year in MLB, the pace of play in spring training is remarkable. So quick, in fact, that the notoriously late arriving Dodger fans may be entering the park this year serenaded by Randy Newman.
Wow. I don't understand any of this. I started to, and BD, please don't take this personally, but I started to think about other things in the middle of the question. Oh, are you talking about L.A.? Is that the official song of the Dodgers or the official song of L.A.?
It's the official song of an L.A. team winning.
And the fact that it's a sarcastic song just makes it
it's more of a Lakers thing than a
right. That's what I thought. Yeah. That's what he actually confused me. I didn't associate the two.
No. Also, you weren't listening.
Okay, but now I do understand what he's talking about, and I do understand a couple of the things, like a pitch clock.
Uh-huh.
So that means you have to pitch like you have to serve, and within that amount of time.
Pitch is what it's called. Yeah.
Oh, shut up! Dan Marsh says, "Hey guys, if you," and I'm talking to you, not BD West. I'm telling you to shut up.
I understand.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, not BD West, to go fuck yourself.
I'll fucking destroy your career, Weinstein.
You can't destroy my career. I'm in podcasting.
I'm Weinstein. You're Weinstein, you fuck. This is how he said you.
Exactly. Don't mistake. Don't ever mix it up. Shit for brains.
Me or him?
Him.
Dan Marsh said, I like the dumb guy who all he does is ask if it was about him. And then when they say no, he goes, okay, that was close. Hey, guys. Dan Marsh says, if you could have any celebrity become a regular listener of the pod, who would it be? And which celebrity do you most want not to listen to the show? I'd like Albert Einstein. I would like Bob Dylan to listen to the show.
Really?
No. Here's my dream.
I don't think it would help you with him very much.
Yeah, but he's been like, I don't know if you remember the hilarious.
In fact, I listened to the show. What's that smell? I say. Oh, it's Thought Sparrow.
See, I'm smart enough to know that is not actually Bob Dylan. That's your impression of him. And I think if I actually did meet Bob Dylan, he would be so, normally he's unfocused, but he'd be like, Andy, how's it go? Let's do this. First, Andy, I'd like you to write a song with me. I can't believe what I just saw. I can't even believe it. There's this great, you have not seen Stutz yet, right?
I have not.
Okay, so there's this great thing. Stutz is a great person. He's a real person, right? So at one point, Jonah Hill's asking him questions, and he goes, and Stutz is like this. He goes, are you eating a chocolate? He goes, yeah. You're eating a chocolate in the middle of a... It was really, really funny because Stutz, if it was me, I would have gone, oh, don't ruin my career. By the way, I said to somebody, not using you as evidence, but yesterday I said at the voiceover at Dobbs Burgers where I saw Andy Richter. Pew, 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 pew. I said that I'd heard, the woman, Lindsay, who is the writer of the show, she goes, oh, I couldn't get into it. I got 20 minutes in, but I couldn't get into it because Jonah Hill. I thought she was talking about because Jonah Hill has a reputation as being unpleasant. I said, well, I've heard from just about everybody that he's very unpleasant. And then someone else came in, I don't know who it was, and said, actually, he was very, very nice when we worked with him or something like that.
Way to go. Way to go.
Thanks a lot, fuckface. Why'd you do this to me? Did we answer do we open let him go? Did we open it? Did we close it? Did we open it?
I don't have any real strong celebrity preferences. I don't know. I mean, I would probably be better if Adam Sandler didn't listen to the show.
I would like Michael Malice. No, I'm just kidding. He's not a celebrity.
But I'm happy with the celebrities we have.
Yes, let me tell you something. We have.
You know who you are.
Yes, just Ben and Ione. There's two people.
No,
Ben Lee.
No, there's more.
There's more?
They're just very quiet about it.
First of all, what other Hollywood couples besides Ben and Ione do we have? Hollywood. I'm saying Hollywood. I'm saying like red carpet couples. Who else do we have? Oh, I know what you're going to say, but we haven't talked to Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, but we have not. They've not. But
they're barely a couple, really, at this point.
Oh, bum. Stephen Elton Yates says, my most frequent. I'm going to pretend he's from the South.
Okay.
Stephen Elton Yates says, my most frequently used Yiddish words include schlep, shtick, schmaltz, schmutz, and a schmogege. I know you fellas like coffee. Do either of you drink tea? All those words are excellent words. In fact, I haven't thought of schmagegi in a lot. What is a schmagegi?
I don't know if it's even a real thing.
Here's the thing about Josh Weinstein. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
When you think that he's going to be interested because you're there, I'm present now. I'm present. Here I am finally. In a question, answering. I can see things around me. I have peripheral vision. And then he goes, I say, what does schmagegi mean? I don't know. See, if you were a mensch, you go, schmagegi is like a schlemiel who gets punched in the face by a schmuck.
Okay. I'll take note.
I do not love tea, but I like, Susan drinks PG Tips. I like the taste of it, but I would never on my own get a cup of tea.
I'm not, tea like 7-Up is symbolic of illness for me.
It's true.
7-Up is for stomach problems. Tea is for colds.
Well, also if you're an American, what is tea to you? Lipton's? You don't even know what you're talking about.
No, I'm married English, so
I know, but I'm talking about as a child or something. Hey, why don't you read the next question from Stephen Elton Yates if you're so smart?
All right. Shellfish are about the only meat allowed in strict Orthodox Christian fast like Lent. And yet shellfish are prohibited for those keeping kosher for Passover during the same time of year. Do you guys have a favorite jazz LP? Well, let me first go back to the header.
Okay. Go back to the
because
letter.
I would just specify that shellfish are not just unkosher for Passover, they're unkosher year round. So it's not
exactly right.
It's not like they went, they tried to burn the Orthodox with that. And my favorite jazz LP, I don't know. It's Juju by Wayne Shorter, maybe just because he just died. Or I think one of my favorites is Miles and Monk at Newport.
Well, I'm going to check that out.
That's each of their groups on one side of the album.
My favorite jazz LP is Benny Carter's Further Definitions, which is my favorite. Who's also my favorite jazz person, but that's because I met him. Bop, bop, bop. There goes the ball. Boop, boop, boop. Coming back to me. But also, I will admit that I'm not that familiar with jazz as I'd like to pretend to be as a musician.
Yeah.
I used to say I was with everything.
Of course.
Jazz? Of course. Jaco Pastorius, Loop-de-Loo.
Jeff Blowhardy.
Is Jaco Pastorius? Is that an example?
He is a jazz bass legend, yes. And I mentioned him last week, which is why he was in his head.
I can't even pull a name out of my own hat. Christopher Citro says, I just ate 4 gingerbread men with my Darjeeling tea. Each one started first with the legs. Subconsciously, I thought I was being kind by leaving the head for last. I've had the same thing happen to me. Why do we make food in the shape of ourselves? I think it's because it's to dissuade us from being cannibals. Or it's to train us to be cannibals.
I think it's because circles get boring.
True. Good point.
And they're fun. And they're fun to decorate like little people.
Once again, may I say for those who don't know it, Chips Ahoy is a takeoff on Ships ahoy!
And the Beatles is an alternate spelling of the insect.
That one really... No, here's the truth. That one still hurts me.
Good.
That one still hurts me because of my own stupidity. Good. Not because of anything you've done. What do you want from me?
Just a little focus.
Shut up, both of us.
A little focus.
Pick it up.
Miss Al Boogie says, hi, Josh and Andy. Last night I went to a public screening of History of the World Part 2 with Richard Kind, Nick Kroll, and Ike Barinholtz discussing After. Had a blast watching with a crowd and so many funny people in it. My question is...
Oh, sorry.
What person from history would you both love to comedically portray? And also, P.S. Andy, if you aren't in it, don't worry. Kroll said that some people got COVID on the set.
I know. And thank you for being conscious of that. I always thought I did a great Mark Twain. Well, it just goes to no, wait, maybe it's Will Rogers. Well, I'm a member of an unorganized party, the Democrats. It's not good?
No, it was perfect.
Okay, how about
except for the actual joke.
I'm Albus Einstein. E equals MC squared.
Don't even with the Einstein. The bar is set so high by Giamatti that I don't think it's untouchable now.
I apologize.
It's like doing Gandhi with Ben Kingsley in the room. It's just not.
Why would he be in the room while I was doing an impression of Gandhi? I don't even know the fucking guy. I would love to be in a room with Ben Kingsley.
Thank you, Mr. Yes At.
It'd be me with Ben Kingsley. Probably. So was it hard making Gandhi? It's like a 3-hour movie.
Did you really have to fast for the whole thing?
That's what I was going to ask. The exact follow-up question. Did you fast? Like, Brad Pitt or somebody loses weight. Did you fast?
He had a great line at the time or afterwards of how everybody, people in Hollywood loved Gandhi because he was everything they wanted to be: tan, thin, and moral.
Was that Ben Kingsley?
Yes.
I used to like Colin Quinn's joke where he go, was Gandhi really a peace person, or was it because he was 5'2" with glasses and soaking, and he weighed 12 pounds soaking wet? If he was big, you go, oh, you want a piece of Gandhi? Who wants a piece of Gandhi? I can't deliver it like he does.
Dan Marsh says, I have a friendly challenge for my favorite podcast hosts, Pearl and Swiney. Thank you. I'm glad that one came on. Pearl and Swiney.
What does that mean? Is that something I'm not getting?
Yes, it is. And it's one that something from a previous show.
Well, why would I know that? I definitely wouldn't know it.
Well, you'll know a Pearl when you hear it, Swiney.
All right. I lost where we were, and now I can't even get the fucking back.
All right. Josh, can you give yourself a little pep talk? Andy, can you give us 5 words for poop and say them with gusto? This is the challenge for us both.
Okay.
Do you want to go
5
first?
words for poop?
Yeah, with gusto.
Oh, my God. How many questions do we have?
Jesus Christ. Will you fucking focus?
Okay. Waste matter? No.
That's not much gusto.
Faces.
Okay.
Your business. Doing your business.
All right.
Number 2.
Okay.
Number 2.
All right.
And then my favorite, I'm going to go to the head and the shit. I'm going to the shitter. Oh, God, I'm sick. I can't even do
those were all very...
I didn't do bad.
Those are all kind of G-rated. That was good. I will give myself the pep talk that I pretty much always give myself when I'm freaking out and need a pep talk. Here's the pep talk. Everything's fine. There. That's the pep talk.
That's pretty good. You must really... There's a lot of love there.
Seriously, that is what I do. I just go, look, everything's fine.
Johnny Whoop says, yo, Andy, have you ever been concussed while tripping balls like Mitch did the other night? And he encloses a Manu Rahu thing about him tripping McConnell got a concussion at some event. But I was wondering, where's all the right-wing people saying that he was stumbling because he was having a homosexual affair? I haven't heard one Jimmy Dore. Oh yeah. I suppose he just fell. I got it. That's right. People just fall and get a concussion. He wasn't having a homosexual affair? Bullshit. That's the right way.
He fell while doing a 69 at 80.
Richard Cole.
I don't know. I think Mitch McConnell's going to be in the hospital a long time if they're waiting for him to come to his senses. Am I right?
Political comedy used to be easy back in the Johnny Carson days.
That's right.
Richard Cole says, "Hi, guys. I'm in Toronto today, Thursday, because I'm going to the Muse concert tonight." That's yesterday. What a beautiful winter day. Do you have any memories of Toronto, Spike? Josh, who's Spike? I love Toronto. It's one of my favorite cities, and I love the people there.
You know what I always say about it? It's better to run to Toronto than to live in a place you don't want to.
Is that the Marx Brothers?
It's Groucho Marx, yes.
And what is Muse?
I'm not sure. I think it's an act of some kind.
Do they just stand on stage and think?
They just inspire the audience silently. I don't have any. I've only been to Toronto once, and that was as a 16-year-old on a road trip with my friend Craig Smith. And we had a good time there.
God, you were so young with these trips.
We were. No, it was that trip that I think allowed me to convince my parents to let me be a road comic later that year. So.
Wow, that's so cool. You survived it.
Yeah, we crossed international borders. We had car troubles and got them fixed. So it was a good road test.
Half of those stories end up in death, but you just never hear about it.
Well, exactly. A couple of Midwestern kids. Who cares?
Yeah, it's right. I mean, their family would care, but we wouldn't know about it.
Right.
Oh my God, I got lost again. You're gonna have to.
That's okay. Halpin Fraser says, "Hello, guys. Andy, any anecdotes from visiting the Playboy Mansion for the Late Show?"
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't visit the Playboy Mansion. I visited the opening of the Playboy Club at the Palms Hotel in Las Vegas, and I did get the chance to bring up Harvey. Well, not Harvey Pekar. I got the chance to bring up Harvey. What's his name? The great artist, comic book guy, Harvey
Kurtzman.
Yes,
the one that your dad was friends with.
Yeah. So I brought that up to him, and so that was interesting. It was.
Did he remember your dad?
No, he remembers. He still felt bad about Harvey Kurtzman. He goes, "I still feel bad about that."
Who are you talking about?
Because what happened was when Harvey Kurtzman left Mad Magazine, he was bankrolled by.
You just said this
Hugh
was
Hefner.
Harvey Kurtzman, though.
Huh?
Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, Harvey Kurtzman, when he was the creator of Mad Magazine, and then he lost it in a fight with Gaines, the publisher.
Right.
They had a bitter fight, and Harvey wanted more control. And then
Harvey went off and did like Trump. Was that with Hefner? I
think that was with Hefner. Okay. Yeah, and then Hefner pulled the plug on it because they were going through a recession type of weird thing. And then the other rumor is that Harvey would never deliver it on time because he was a perfectionist and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So,
well, yeah, and Hefner was a total magazine guy.
Right. I mean, I'm not a Hefner fan, but
okay. So now, flash forward. So you talked to Hugh Hefner.
I talked to Hugh Hefner in a one-on-one interview, and that's again another.
And you wasted Letterman time by bringing up Harvey Kurtzman to him just because you wanted to say my dad knew him.
No, it was actually as we were setting up type of thing. I can't let you portray me completely horrible.
No, I'm not just. I'm just painting a picture. I'm not trying to paint you. I'm just trying to paint you as completely Andy.
All right, you're going to have to do the rest of the questions because I don't know what I'm doing here.
All right, fine. Julian Valentich says, gentlemen, any advice for a forthcoming bachelor's party other than careful with jambalaya?
What?
I don't know exactly. Maybe too spicy?
Well,
it's just regular jambalaya.
Oh, that's right. I've never had. Oh, I thought I did a pretty good one. I went to the Dodgers game.
You
went.
I attended. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was kind of fun.
It was out of control.
Yeah, I guess in retrospect, it probably wasn't good. I mean, we were going to sit around and, because we basically sat around and all tried to top each other for 9 innings.
Yeah. It was it was watching a baseball game, is really what it was.
And Lou Schneider was there.
Yeah.
And every time the Jewish guy would come up to the plate, Sean. Who was that guy?
Sean Green.
He would go, da, 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 da. We would do like a Jewish chant in the stands. We killed. Also, I got somebody off of a crime. They were tried for a crime, but they got off because they found them sitting in the stands with me at my bachelor party.
Right.
Do you get that joke?
I do. It's a Larry David thing.
Thank you. I thank you. Dana Schwartz says, History of the World Part 2. Am I crazy? Or are we talking Emmy land here? And look, Andy, there's still work out there. Where were you? You know, what is this History of the World Part 2?
It's a thing that is on Hulu, endorsed by Mel Brooks, who did History of the World Part 1.
Is the History of the World the thing with Robert, with what he used to do with, not Robert Klein?
No, it was a film of his called History of the World Part 1.
It was bad, right? Or it was not bad?
It was like his last good one, actually.
Oh, okay. Okay, and so they're making the new one.
They're making a new one as a series.
No.
Yes.
Well, what's the premise?
The History of the World, Part 2. It's sketches of history things.
That will be...
I watched an episode of it. It was miss and miss.
It was okay.
It was miss and miss.
Well, Mel Brooks has a very broad sense of humor that he doesn't realize.
It's not really Mel Brooks' sense of humor. It's more Nick Kroll and company's sense of humor, and it's. Oh,
I like them.
It's the problem with it is it's way too many opportunities for shitty jokes, which then undermines the good jokes.
Right. Well, you know what they need? And
that was the problem with the movie too. But at least there was enough good bits in the movie.
Here's a sad question for you. Mad City Architect. I lost some sleep over this question. Andy, are you ready for Aaron Rodgers to become the new Jets quarterback? I'm not ready. I will not root for him. Oh, God, who cares? He's not going there, is he?
It looks like it.
It looks like he's going to the Jets?
Yes.
Aren't they too woke for him?
Clearly.
Oh, it's so terrible because I really enjoyed watching him. And when he was engaged to Shannon Tweedy, it can't be her name. Is her name Shannon?
I have no idea. You're the one who follows celebrity sports spouses.
Big Little Lies. She was in. Great actress.
I don't recall.
Sigourney Tweedy. All right, I'm done with that one. I'm not ready, though. I'm not ready to listen to... Again, it's unbelievable that Keith Hernandez would make a big deal when he's interviewed by Tucker Carlson to say he was against moving the baseball game from Georgia. Why don't you just say you're a racist, Keith Hernandez? Okay, I'm just depressed, so you can answer it from now on.
Okay, I'll answer this one. Zane says, what is Andy's favorite meal? He likes a big plate of... No, go ahead, you do it.
I think I like sushi is my favorite meal.
I knew it.
I think. Yeah. You knew that one?
I did, because you've answered it. Okay. You've consistently answered it. It would be your last meal. It's your favorite meal.
It sounds so terrible. Being a friend of mine.
It's a long haul.
It really is.
Show 299.
Boring. A boring long haul.
It's just, we've talked for 600 hours on the record. And that's just the recorded parts. Dr. Francis B. Gross says, what is a question that is not a question but is similar to a question? I'd say a rhetorical question.
True. You know what? Enough said.
Dan Marsh.
Okay,
sorry. No, you.
Dan Marsh says, Josh, it seems like being stoic would generally be helpful in life, but has it ever bitten you in the ass? Andy, have there been times when panicking, breaking down in tears, and cowering in the fetal position has worked to your advantage? No, just crying often helps, but not the other stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't,
Being stoic has in fact bitten me in the ass in many showbiz contexts, I would say.
Okay.
Where people will will mistake my lack of enthusiasm for a lack of enthusiasm.
I'm more of a glad hander when I'm in a group like that.
That was where it really bit me, was in that was a hurdle for my meeting skills.
Yeah. Yeah, because you really don't want to look like this is bullshit.
Blasé.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've just heard every joke possible, and I don't find them funny.
Right, and nor do I really care about what you fucking think of me, asshole.
Yeah, nor do I really care about doing a sitcom about...
now that I'm here, I'm realizing I didn't really want to do this in the first place. It was all external pressure that was forcing me to this room.
I mean, let me just say this. The script is named Invisalign, the movie.
There's a bunch of people taking a percentage of what I make, and suddenly they want me to make something. So here I am. Oh, you don't like it? Darn it!
I guess that's it. We don't have anything on the other Instagram thing today. So if you want to buy us it's raining nice. I love this rain, but not for the floods.
It's not so good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No, I just want to make sure. And anybody suffering out there, please let me know. Next week's 300. I can't wait.
I know.
That's a lot of shows. Pretty good.
It is a lot of shows. It is literally hundreds more than I thought we would do. Estate Snail, aka Foodie Giuliani, asks, thinking of changing my Twitter handle to Schmoopy and the Hoo-Hoos. Oh, Schmoopy and the Hoo-Hoos.
That would be so sweet.
It seems proprietary since Andy has been using it in his everyday parlance for years now. Do I have permission from the great one to commandeer it?
Please do. I love it.
There you go. Straight from the Schmoopy's mouth.
I mean, people thought when Seinfeld was saying Schmoopy that he got it from me, but I'm sure he didn't.
Dan Wade asks, have either of you read Dick Cavett's book, Talk Show? I liked it a lot. Also, around Tesha 150, I seem to remember hearing that neither of you has read Portnoy's Complaint. That should be corrected immediately.
I think you're right about that, because someone was just referencing Portnoy's Complaint in the Weinstein book.
Yeah.
Or something. Or something else. So I think it is a major problem that I haven't read that book. Because it's supposed to be great.
It is, and I've still never read it either.
Yeah, so
I'll get to it right after Harvey. Dan Wade is back to say, hey, guys. And he actually wrote, Dan Wade is back to say. Hey, guys, just saw that Topol died. Always loved Andy's Rembrandt's Topol joke.
I was referring to the smoker's tooth polish.
Yeah.
Oh, was he also an actual person that I made up? Topol, the Yiddish theater actor?
Yes, the quintessential Tevye.
I didn't even know that. This is great. I'm funnier than I thought. That's sad, though. It's sad when Topol dies.
It is.
Did he ever sue the tooth polish?
I don't think he did.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very sad. How old was he?
Perhaps he endorsed them, in fact.
And it reminds me that I didn't have dinner with Five-ish Finkel. All right. Now
great.
Okay.
It's the butterfly effect. Something happens somewhere, and Andy finds a way to make it about himself. Delicious Mick says, I'm from Australia, so I appreciate it if you'd read my questions in the yoga pants voice. All right. I lost my virginity when I was 14 at a house party, but I was too nervous to finish. So I had the most excruciating blue balls of my life. Her older brother beat me up at school the following week in the principal's office. My dad, the catalyst to 4 accidents, told me to keep it in my pants. How was your experience with losing your virginity, gentlemen?
It's so funny. The first thing that made me able to come as a small child was when I would say, they look like dress pants, but they aren't. They're yoga pants. That was my first.
That made you come?
I shouldn't have shoehorned both of them. Don't shoehorn 2 bits together. I always tell the kids that. You could die on one mountain.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't really feel like discussing my first losing my virginity on this
because nobody was there. because inflated dolls don't talk.
AKI Iram asks, using a European football parlance, start, bench, or sell the following stand-ups: George Wallace, Dave Attell, and Tom Arnold. I'd go in that. I would go in the same as given order. I would start George Wallace. I would bench Dave Attell, and I would sell Tom Arnold. Well,
it's too hard for me because I'm not looking at the sheet. But I applaud. I applaud all versions of the kill. I mean, it's endless hours of fun. Who would you kill? Who would you sleep with? And then who would you? What is the other one? Dismember?
It's fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, yeah. What our society?
You're thinking of kill. Is what you're thinking.
Our society is really. It's almost like an Algonquin table when we come up with these things.
The Algonquin kids table, as I like to say. Full Dork says, "What's your favorite restaurant in LA? Favorite on the road?" Man, I don't have a favorite because it's like whenever I pick a favorite, it starts to disappoint me after a while.
Yes, I like sushi. Have I mentioned that? I like sushi. On the road.
Hey, Andy.
I like sushi.
Maybe Illuminati's on the road.
Sushi, hi.
I don't know.
Maybe on the road, what?
Illuminati's in Chicago, but that can't be your favorite.
Lou Malnati's, did you say?
Lou Malnati's, a great deep
dish. It just sounded like you were saying Illuminati's there.
I know, that's what I used to think that nobody else. I say, do you know there's an Illuminati and the guy's name is Lou, is his first name, and Malnati is his last name, but it's not a joke. I thought for all these years, it's hilarious. No, his name is Lou Malnati. Isn't that a great story?
And do they do gold belly delivery?
Yes. And they're great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, the Gino's East is good out here, but it's
not bad. It's a little too cornbready crust, but
yeah. But it's at least got that feel. Oh, and they have great Brussels sprouts there.
It's so rare to find a restaurant doing Brussels sprouts.
It's so rare.
Yee asks, sorry to hear of Josh's not so enthused memories re his puppetry contributions to the genius production that was Kids Court. Wow. My question is, I had good memories of that.
It was a rough day.
It was just a bad puppetry situation.
Yeah.
My question is, if the rights issues got sorted out, and if I win the lottery, consider that done, could there ever be a rebirth, or has all the joy been lost for the cause?
I would do Kids Court tomorrow.
I
think it's a great idea. What's the rights?
It's the one show where I haven't aged.
And what kind of rights problems would we have? You mean cutting Michael Rotman out of the deal? He's gone.
Bye. Now it's toddler court.
So sue me, Mike Rotman.
It's grade school Nuremberg.
Small children trials.
So no, I think we could even bring Mike in. We could keep Mike intact because he is the rights holder. So bring it back. No, I thought it was fun. I thought it was one of those situations where I played a strong hand to make something work that I saw was going really off I could see it going badly.
You absolutely saved the day.
It's one of the few times in my life where I really that strongly injected myself and went, you really need me to do this thing here.
Right. And otherwise I would have been playing off of nothing.
Playing off a 9-year-old where the joke was he doesn't talk.
Still discovering how she lied about her elbow would have been a highlight for me.
That was good.
But I wouldn't have been high-fiving a puppet.
No, you tricked her like someone with a neck brace on. So yeah, bring it on. Win the lottery. We're both on. We're both in.
Yes.
You'll have to pay us well.
Count on it.
But that's not because we don't want to do it. It's because we're shaking you down.
I'm clearing the decks.
All right. Wampus Reynolds, a.k.a. Television Savalas, says, what's the TV show or movie we'd be most surprised to find out you love a whole lot? Early congrats on 300 episodes. This speaks to what mentioned you to our keeping up a record of your conversations and friendship for our benefit. Wow, that's really cool. That's a generous way to characterize it all.
Thank you. Thank you for that, Wampus.
The movie that you'd be most surprised I love a whole lot. I deeply love the movie Hooper. Burt Reynolds. I
haven't even seen it. I'll have to watch it.
Burt Reynolds stuntman movie.
Okay.
It's actually a pretty good little Hollywood satire.
Why did you never tell me about it?
I think I have.
Okay. Well, the one I'm going to say is I love the show. The Price is Right. The morning show. And more the Drew Carey version than even the Bob Barker version.
Wow. That you've never revealed that to even me before.
No, I don't like that show. So
well, then why are you lying? Why are you being a dick here? God, for the love of God.
Oh, well, maybe it would be like the Real Housewives, but I watched them for guilty pleasures.
That's not a guilty pleasure, though. That's an unabashed pleasure.
That's true. I'll have to come back next week with more answers. I mean, I can't answer everything.
It's just saying what's the most surprised to find out. So probably could just go with something smart. Oh, sorry. Munson 3786 says, coming up on the Tea Time movie, David Niven, Jeremy Piven, Andy Kindler, Oscar Schindler, J. Elvis Weinstein, Diane Feinstein, and Matthew the Grumpy Groundhog, and Francis the Talking Mule gets laryngitis.
That's a good one. Boy, but you should... And that you're not on Cameo with the stuff.
I know.
That you're not charging.
I know.
I raised my price.
Did you?
45.
Wow. And how's it going?
I got one so far.
Yeah, which is the same as if you had it at 35.
Yeah. What's the point? Right. What's the point of lowballing myself?
Right. Now that you've already, had the low-hanging fruit, I'll patronize you. And finally, oh no, I have one letter, I think. But
all right. And finally
on the gram, Mark Anthony Devlin says, I've been saving Andy's special for so long now, waiting for the right time and place to enjoy it to its fullest, that I've built it up so much to the point where I don't think the right time and place exists. It's that good.
Which one is he talking about?
Which one?
Hence the humor?
That's not a special, is it?
I thought it was.
Well,
what is this? What's the special? I don't know. I'm lost.
Isn't I Wish I Was Better a special?
Oh, yes, that is. I'm very proud of that. Very proud of that, but I wouldn't want you to build your hopes up too high.
No,
Josh made it work. But that's a long time ago, is all I'm saying.
It was a really long time, like 25 years ago.
Holy Christ.
And then like 14 years between editing and release?
Yes. No, but close.
Yeah.
6 years or something, I think.
It was more than that.
Well, we recorded it in 2003.
Oh, really? Okay, I thought it was still in the 90s.
I think so.
You're probably right, since it's your life.
It does sound like 6 years sounds like too quick for a project that I would be involved with, but maybe it was 7 years.
We are heading...
We're heading to the email. I would love people to write to us.
At thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com?
Right.
Yeah.
Box 555.
This is from Ben Lieberman. He says, Dearest Josh and Andy, first, I need to sincerely thank you for all the joy you've brought me through some real dark times. Hey, Josh, fellow Cancer Club member here. All right. I'm glad I hope if you're in the same club, that means you're a healthy survivor.
Exactly.
Yours is the first podcast I listen to every week without exception. The perfectly balanced yin and yang of your personalities, the journey of your relationship, and the literal LOLs you, quote, always deliver, even parenthetically, especially in the lulls and mundane moments. what you do is really special, and I am so grateful to you both. You make a real difference in my life. That's very nice. Thank you.
That is a very sweet thing, and that really makes me feel good.
Now, with that being said, and with all due respect, I have this to ask. Andy, please, for the love of God and Quakers everywhere, when you introduce a Perush question, can you just sing Perush, Perush, Perush is on fire? There's no the necessary. Perush equals
right.
the roof. It rhymes.
Okay.
It's the same number of syllables. That's all. Please consider.
So in other words, don't say the Perush.
Right.
The Perush.
Exactly.
Perush. Perush.
Right.
Perush is on fire.
Exactly.
I'll try to do
exactly what he's asking for, and he's absolutely correct in asking that.
Yes. It
so
must be
he's
annoying
saying,
when
that's all. Please consider. I'll buy you a coffee. Thank you again. Much love and respect, Ben Lieberman.
Thank you. That was a wonderful thing.
I thank you, too, because it's been eating at me for years now. And
You don't care enough about it to have made it eat you for years.
It's true. I'm a stoic.
Suck it up, fuckface. I lean back.